slam by Rampage Jackson.
And that's it. That is all she wrote from Herpes right there.
Danielle Taylor throwing some heavy shots and ends the fight. Cutler is out. Insane airplane toss by Charles Krazy.
Atlantic takedowns. Huge knees, 2 huge knees.
And there she is, Ronda Rousey making her pro debut in excellent fashion. Jamie Colleen just destroying. Cutler says, no more, I'm out. And a quick look at our rules of combat based on 3 5-minute rounds, and of course 5 5-minute rounds for championship bouts. And of course in the amateur division that changed to 3 3-minute rounds, and of course 5 3-minute rounds for championship bouts in the amateur division. It's based on the 10-point must system, judging criteria, and to get things started, we'll go ahead and throw it to the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the junior welterweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Steve Ward. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 6 feet tall, official weight an even 160 pounds. He represents Rothwell MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Racine, Wisconsin, presenting Tyree, the Ninja Knuckles. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 6'1", official weight 159.8 pounds. He represents WNY MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Buffalo, New York, presenting Sean Superfly Felton Jr. Once again, your referee of this 3-round junior welterweight contest, Steve Ward, now with the final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times and listen to my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
And here we go, round 1 between Knuckles and Felton. And here we go, round 1. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds or less. Felton off to a great start in his career, also here at King of the Cage as well. Knuckles definitely lives up to his last name, man. He lives up to the hype. You would think that that was a nickname, but it's not, man. But he's got some knuckles on him, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. We're going to definitely see how the stand-up game goes. It's going to be an interesting game. Right now, they're just exchanging blows, really testing it out, testing the waters. Could be a very, very balanced match. Could be a very interesting opponent.
Nice hook by Felton that barely misses the dome of Knuckles. Felton with a nice little reach there as well.
Both fighters really taking their time here, really testing the waters out. Nobody's making, any too harsh moves. All right, oh, there we go, as I speak, just exchanging shots. A couple of them are landing, and, they're still landing hard. It's not like they're just weighing it out here, testing the water.
Absolutely, a nice high kick by Felton, backs up a bit. But Knuckles continues to take center cage here. Very comfortable in that regards. Knuckles rushes in. Got a low kick there. Sean's the type of fighter who's like, I don't care, man. It may hurt, but I want to keep going. Tough guy indeed. Superfly. Sean Felton looking to put another victory under his belt here tonight at King of the Cage, Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino.
Both these fighters are very strong kickers that we've already seen starting from the beginning of the round. They've opted for more kicks than strikes. And we'll see Knuckles put it up against the cage here.
Knuckles going for the takedown, but Felton ends up on top. Now working from the half guard. So now we're going to see a little bit of the ground game between these two. And, you know, it always happens in these fights where two guys are very comfortable standing up. Then when it goes to the ground, sometimes things start changing. It goes, you know, to the advantage of the opponent. But in this situation, we'll find out here shortly. This all pans out.
Yeah, definitely within, you know, professional MMA as a sport, you really start seeing, you know, what fighters are going to, obviously going to need to show more practice in, and what fighters are really going to be the well-rounded, you know, they're fluent in every style, fluent on the ground, fluent on their feet. Those are the ones who are going to end up carrying on and being successful with their career.
Absolutely. Being a very well-rounded fighter in this day and age in MMA is so important. You know, we've seen the evolution of MMA over the years, in the last probably almost 20 years now. It's amazing to even say that. But it's still growing, and people are still learning new skills. I mean, in the past decade, we've seen people utilize the cage to their advantage by jumping off and kicking somebody in the face. Has that been done since Anthony Showtime Pettis? I haven't seen it yet, but there's a lot of things we still haven't witnessed in MMA, and it's just a continuing growing sport. It's definitely not one-dimensional.
Yeah, definitely. With every generation that comes in, especially, you know, a new King of the Cage roster coming up, a lot of amateurs, we have a lot more explosive fighters, a lot more, you know, exciting type of people that are really good, got really good records, and they're, you know, going to be bringing, obviously, some new things to the sport. Hopefully, we see them improve it for the better.
Yeah, that's so true. You know, the well-rounded fighters of today are so different than they were maybe even 10, 20 years ago, as people were coming from just boxing backgrounds or Muay Thai backgrounds, and now they're training every single discipline, and that's the beauty of this sport and why it's become such a competitive sport, even more so throughout the years. Nice outside leg kick for Knuckles there. Felton going to shoot in for that takedown. He swoops him right up off the cage and gets it again. Just those takedowns alone, I think, are going to really inspire the judges to score more points to Felton's corner.
Oh, yeah, definitely doing nothing but helping him.
58 seconds remains here in round one.
Both Felton and Knuckles really seeming to pace this out. It seems like they both know what they're doing. They're taking their time. They know exactly how they're going about it. They're going possibly for the long run, saving that energy there. But really making the hits count when they land.
Trying to set that high guard is Knuckles, trying to sustain the situation here. "26 seconds. Felton going to ride out and get this win here in this round one.
Knuckles keeping tight, not really trying to let Felton make too much of a move on him. You know.
Exactly, and this is it. Posture's up, going to score some last-minute points. And that concludes Chapter 1.
Fairly even outcome so far.
Let's take a quick look at the replay here. A nice takedown by Knuckles, but reverses things as Felton.
Yeah, a couple times in the match, Felton was able to make any time it got taken to the ground, whether Knuckles initiated it or not, happened to end it in his favor.
Absolutely, right here, that round one, just really scoring those last-minute points as we basically head off into round two. And here we go. Knuckles in the blue corner. And, of course, in the red tape gloves is Sean Superfly Felton. And starting things off with an outside leg kick is Knuckles. Oh, high kick. Oh, it
it
rocked
seems
him.
there's an injury here.
Not quite sure what happened. It looked like the kick didn't phase him, but it looked like something else happened.
Triggered a second later, some late response.
Wow. Let's take a quick look at the replay here. Felton with that high kick, did it really affect him right there where he...
You could see a little bit of a bump in the arm there. You know, it looks like he blocked it successfully.
Maybe he
but
just hurt his hand.
yeah, could have taken some damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Steve Ward, has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 18 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO, Sean Superfly Felton Jr. Here is Daniel El Leon Hernandez.
And there he is, Daniel Hernandez, former middleweight champion, making his way to the cage here tonight on the East Coast. And he's fought several times here at King of the Cage, a veteran. He's fought guys like Rick Legier back in the day in the starts of his career, but he's been in this for quite some time. And it's good to have him here tonight on the East Coast. Couple outings, had some successful victories. He had a tough loss recently where he got knocked out, but now he's back on it, man. So this is a way for him to get back in the, getting another chance at that middleweight crown tonight. This could be his final opportunity. So it's a very important fight for Daniel Hernandez.
Yeah, Daniel's a good guy. He's a great fighter. Like you said, he's been here for a long time. You know, you can always hope for, a good, well-rounded fight. He's not going to be an easy opponent for anyone walking in. Sadaya Parker, on the other hand, very formidable opponent. We're going to see how it goes down.
And tonight's event being brought to you in part by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. And of course, we want to thank General Tire, anywhere is possible, for continuing to sponsor MMA here at King of the Cage. We're just about set. Daniel Hernandez, final checks and arrangements here. And you think TSA is rough. Getting through the cage, man, you got to make sure you have nothing on you.
Well, I'm sure there's been too many accidents in the past for them to do any less.
Dean Stone gets our next fighter out here.
Here is Sadaya Rolling Thunder Parker.
Sadaya Rolling Thunder Parker. And Sadaya Parker getting an opportunity to defend his middleweight crown against a former middleweight champion. This is an interesting combination, an interesting matchup. Sadaya Parker is known for his heavy hands and representing Fit and HB, but getting that middleweight crown and now getting that opportunity to take on a former middleweight champion, Daniel Hernandez, is a very, very tough fight indeed. But at the same time, it sort of solidifies his championship too if he gets that win over Daniel Hernandez, the former middleweight champion.
It's definitely a good test. It's a great gauge, for any champion to be able to face someone who's previously held the title because, they both stayed in the same place. They have that, similarity between the both of them.
And yeah, just to be clear too, is this middleweight crown that he is trying to go for. It's not like, he was middleweight champion like 3-4 years ago, most recently. So, he's still fresh. He's ready to rock. Daniel Hernandez has still a lot of years left in his career in MMA. So tonight is that opportunity to get back in the limelight and grab that middleweight crown. But Sadaya Parker, he's on a tear right now. He is in his prime, and he is just seriously just running through opponents. Tonight is going to be a very important fight for him to get past Daniel Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez usually, oftentimes in his fights, we'll see him. He likes to play out the match. He likes to play out his opponent. He has to watch and look for the perfect opportunity. If I'm going to make a prediction, he'll probably going to be looking to take it towards the ground as, Sadaya is known for his heavy hands.
And here we go. We are set for this middleweight championship here at King of the Cage. We throw it to Dean Stone to get this matchup underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present this special title attraction, 5 rounds of MMA for the King of the Cage Middleweight Championship of the World. Your judges, Tim Corrado, Chris Bolinski, and Paul O'Brien. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. Official weight, 183.8 pounds. He represents the Vault MMA. Professional record, 20 victories, 14 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from El Monte, California, presenting the former King of the Cage Middleweight World Champion, Danielle El Leon Hernandez. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight, 185 pounds. He represents Fit NHB. Professional record, 17 victories, 6 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from the ABQ Albuquerque, New Mexico, presenting the reigning and defending King of the Cage Middleweight Champion of the World, Sadaya Rolling Thunder Parker. Once again, your referee of this 5-round championship bout, Todd Anderson, now with the final instructions.
Gentlemen, we've gone over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back to your corners.
A tremendous amount of respect between these two fighters who have pretty much had identical careers, but man, Sadaya has worked on his hands. He has just become one of the best fighters we have in this division over time. And it's incredible to see him grow over his mixed martial arts career. The fighters almost got like the same stature. I'd have to say a little more weight goes to Sadaya Parker in this.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, in a sport like this, you never know between any you can't just go off of body size.
Absolutely. We've seen guys that have the most bodybuilding looking bodies get destroyed. But here's the thing, Daniel Hernandez,
we know he's not all for show.
Yeah, he's not all for show. He's a tough guy, but right now he's suffering some shots from Daniel Hernandez, becoming the victim here of Sadaya Parker.
He's just tanking those hits. Looking unfazed, though, ready to go back in.
And there's the respect factor. Sadaya Parker backs it up a bit. He's not rushing in, just making every shot count, but those were some nice combinations he put together there.
Yeah, Parker is he's a very fast fighter, very quick on his feet. You know, he's dodging everything. Oh, there goes Hernandez, grabbing the leg, trying to go for something here. Parker will sit it down.
Getting right back to their feet. Hernandez taking it right back down, and now taking the back of Sadaya Parker.
You know, we see Hernandez in his natural element here. You know, he's definitely a ground fighter. You know, he does a great job. He's got a good wrestling background, good jiu-jitsu. He looks much more,
Yeah, to take down someone like Sadaya Parker, that says a lot. But like I said, Sadaya Parker right back on his feet. And Sadaya's like, let me show you what I got. As he gets back up and now taking another shot. Hernandez probably feeling safer that this goes to the ground.
Yeah, Hernandez starting to show a little bit of blood here.
Sweep the leg. And now shooting in for that takedown. Sadaya Parker back on his feet. Creates that space once again. Three minutes remains. So far, a lot of shots been delivered between the two. Oh, takes a shot right to the chin. Hernandez shakes it off. Gonna stand him right back up, and here we go, right back to it.
Yeah, Parker definitely looking to keep it in the stand-up game. You know, that's where he's strong. That's where he looks like he feels like he's going to get the win. He's going to, you know, he's going to let Daniel. If Daniel wants to take it to ground, no, he's going to stand up as quick as he possibly can.
And his hands are getting delivered right through the blocking of Daniel Hernandez. Even though Hernandez has his hands up, he's able to pick every little nook and cranny and get those shots in there.
Yeah, really getting some stopping power behind those punches, you know, breaking through the defenses.
Sort of like the blocking is just slowing down the speed of the punch, but still delivered.
Yeah, starting to see a little bit of wear and tear on Hernandez now.
Yeah. Sadia Parker's starting to open up a bit, letting those hands go a little bit more. He's getting in there, man, with those jabs.
Yeah, with two fighters, you know, who have very similar strengths, you know, very similar level of power, you know, speed is really going to become the huge changing factor.
Oh, big liver shot.
Oh, my.
Drops Daniel Hernandez. What a great call by the ref. Avoiding any more damage. That was enough. Man, what a shot.
Very heavy hit.
That says so much about Sadia Parker's power, man. Look at this. Right to the liver, man. Shakes him up right. Boom. Right here. It's just a couple looks before this liver shot. Knocks him back a little bit. But right here, just ultimately lands it right to the liver.
Ooh.
And shakes up the toxins in Hernandez's system. Oh, man, painful. You throw it to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes and 23 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by knockout, still king of the cage, middleweight world champion, Sadia Rolling Thunder Parker. I am with Sadia Rolling Thunder Parker, who retains his King of the Cage middleweight title. You look fantastic tonight. You fought a former King of the Cage middleweight world champion in Daniel Hernandez. A devastating liver shot completely ended this fight. How do you assess your performance tonight?
I don't know, Niagara Falls, did you like that body shot or not? Make some noise. Hey, Seneca Casino, King of the Cage, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. I'm proud to be your champion. I hope to defend this belt for a long time. My performance was just working my boxing, stuff in the wrestling. I knew Daniel's a tough competitor. He was hungry to get that title. Actually wanted that title back, but you know, this belt's mine. I'm not letting anybody come in whatever house they put me in. It could be your backyard. I'm coming for this belt. I'm gonna take it home every time. Don't mess with me and don't mess with my belt.
He's an experienced vet. I think he's 7-2. His name's Jesse Bazzi, and he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Pure jiu-jitsu grappler guy. I think he fights like Damian Maia. He wants to close the distance and take you down.
Jesse Bazzi comes out of Darren Cruikshank's camp in Dearborn, Michigan. And what you'll see from fighters that come out of that camp is they're very unique. They strike from many angles, and they're very hard to defend. Look for Bazzi to use the unique angles and try to take the fight out early.
I trained in the altitude at Jackson Winklejohn's, and I came home to finish up my camp at Western New York MMA just to cut the weight and make the weight class.
From the Buffalo area, most people consider him the future of MMA in New York. He is the best prospect to maybe come out of New York. At 135 pounds, he's a destroyer. This fight, he's trying to come down to 125. I know that's going to be a very, very tough cut for him. Look for him to continue his ways and to show that he is as good as there is in the sport in every different aspect.
I train like I always train. I normally train for every area, no matter what, because you can have last-minute fallouts, last-minute replacements. So I always train every aspect of the sport.
They can expect a different style of fight from me. I'm coming all in, and I'm just going for broke this fight.
They could expect what they always see, an entertaining fight, good striking on my behalf, and me controlling the fight the whole time.
My future with King of the Cage, I'm going to win this fight, and then I'm going to drop down. This is a 125-pound debut. I'm going to go after that title, and I'm going to go take out Tim Sosa.
Here it is, Jesse Bazzi.
Here we go, Jesse Bazzi making his way to the cage, getting set to take on Pat Mix. Pat, who has a flawless record, ready to put it on the line against Jesse Bazzi. Now, we know tonight's fight was weight was off a bit. Pat Mix, it happens sometimes, happens to the best of them. Jesse Bozzi was a little upset about this. He said, hey, you know what? Be professional about it, show up, make weight. I made weight, why can't you? And, I'm just ready to see this battle here tonight between the two because both fighters, they're professionals. Both fighters are good at what they do. Sometimes mistakes happen, but I'm just sharing the words of Bozzi, man. Bozzi was a little upset. He wasn't happy about it.
Nothing but a little tension to spice up the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat Mix, who has got great stand-up, and just all-around well-rounded fighter. We've seen him travel as well now. He's traveling to different gyms and really taking this game to another level. So I'm very excited to see him get in the cage after going to his camps that he's went to, several well-known camps in the industry. So we'll see how that has affected his game here tonight. But right now, Jesse Bozzi knows it's a huge opportunity. If he can take out the likes of Pat Mix, it's definitely going to catapult him into the spotlight a little bit more, give him that experience that he needs and get him into the spotlight of possibly getting a title shot in the near future. But like I said, this is going to be a pretty tough fight for both of these guys, really. But I'd have to say Bozzi is the underdog in this, probably, too, because of the weight factor as well.
Definitely. Yeah, both these fighters, very tough, very strong fighters.
Let's see how it all unfolds.
Here is Patchy, No Love Mix.
Patchy, No Love Mix. I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of love out there in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of love.
Pat Mix definitely, he's a popular fighter. He's a very technical fighter. He's great stand-up on the ground. He trains at some really, really great gyms right now. He's a very diverse guy, very tough fighter.
And I'd have to say his styles are sort of like, this is a full-on compliment, is Nick Diaz. I mean, his hands, and I don't compare a lot of fighters to fighters like that, but it's true. When you see Pat Mix get in there, he will punch you from all different kind of angles and really make you think and really have you guessing. But tonight, we talked about the weight factor. I don't know if that could be a problem. May it slow it down, may speed him up. I'm not sure if it works to his advantage or not. But normally when I see Pat Mix get in the cage, he really mixes his hands up, and that's no pun intended at all. He really does do that. So here we go. Pat Mix getting that opportunity against Jesse Bozzi. Bozzi knows what's at stake. And all words aside, we are ready for war as we throw it to Dean Stone, veteran voice of the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present our co-featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the Seneca Nation of Indians Athletic Commission, Chairman Scott Snyder, Vice Chairman Justin Schapp. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder Terry Trebilcock Jr., Matchmaker Tom Vaughn, Promoter Jeff Mahalik. The three judges scoring this match will be Tim Corrado, Paul O'Brien, and Dave Bruce. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Todd Anderson. And now, fight fans, here we go. Put your hands together for our co-feature of the evening. 3 rounds of MMA at a catch weight of 130 pounds. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, official weight 129.4 pounds. This Michigan top team fighter has a professional record of 7 victories with 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Detroit, Michigan, presenting Jesse Bozzi. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight 130.8 pounds. This WNY MMA and Jackson Wink fighter has a perfect professional record. 4 bouts, 4 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Angola, New York, presenting Patchy No Love Mix.
And here we go, round one. Patchy Mix against Jesse Bozzi. No touch of the gloves. Straight to war. Bozzi, a very technical fighter. Very quick with his hands, I got to say. See, that's the style I'm talking about. That hook that Nick Diaz has. It just kind of, it's an unorthodox sort of style, and it works for him, but it's clean. It's not like unorthodox as in a little bit weird. No, it's clean.
It's different, but it's well rehearsed. It's well practiced. You know, there's a method.
And this is the thing, what makes it so tough for Pat Mix's opponents is you can't train for somebody like that has that style. That's an incredible striking ability. But as I say that, he takes it to the ground, and this is what we're talking about, is well-rounded abilities. Trying to sink those hooks in.
Yeah, he's a very controlling fighter. He's going to get in there as quick as he possibly can. He's, you're not going to get an easy minute, an easy second even to breathe when you're fighting a fighter like Pat Mix.
And the one thing that has been an advantage for Pat Mix is his height in this weight division. He really does soar over a lot of his opponents, and man, what an advantage. One of those fighters that I remember really well, welterweight, stood at about 6'5". I mean, you're talking like the size of Tony Lopez and was a welterweight, but a jiu-jitsu expert, and that's just a nightmare from hell.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That length really comes into play. A lot of people, you see it, they may shrug it off. It may not be a big deal, especially if you're just looking at it from a stand-up perspective, because, of course, you've seen, guys with shorter stature come in and completely dominate some people who are, have a lot of height on them. But when it takes it to the ground, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the length being used, utilizing that body triangle, trying to slow down the breathing process for Bozzi. And let me tell you, that is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, Bozzi doing the best he can to defend against it. Honestly, he's defending fairly well. He's taking minimal hits as much as he can from Pat Mix. He's going to throw basically whenever he can. But Bozzi obviously he's a more stronger stand-up fighter. He's got that great multi-striking from all different kinds of angles. He's a hard fighter to come by. Pat Mix just continuing to keep that solid lock around his stomach. Maneuvers on top now.
Two minutes, 30 seconds remains. And right now, just constantly trying to work that half guard, trying to cross over. Bozzi doing a good job of defending thus far, but Bozzi needs to get this on the feet and get something started. He's not scoring any points from down in this position. This seems like it could be a fight that could go 3 rounds easily between the two of these guys.
Definitely these guys, they have no problem with taking it that long if they need to.
Now Patrick Mix getting into side control here. A minute and 48 seconds on the clock. Looking to deliver some elbows possibly.
Bozzi looking to use the cage to his advantage.
There you go. Trying to posture up.
Mix just continually making his way back to that stance, taking the back, taking the front, whatever he can. He's just in the perfect position wherever he needs to be.
Really delivering some damage here with the elbows. Pat Mix continues to hold control here as he works into side control, trying to crank on the neck here. Trying to go around to 12 o'clock. Can he do it? 47 seconds remaining. Not going to happen quite yet, but is very uncomfortable.
Bozzi remaining calm. He's not freaking out. He's not stressing out. He knows he's in control of the situation. But Mix really is grinding hard into that position.
Jesse Bozzi not giving up, not giving out. Pat Mix going to be really exhausting that arm here. Luckily, round 1 will be ending here shortly. Bozzi got to ride out the clock, and it looks like he will. Just got to survive the wrath of these elbows coming from Pat Mix.
Mix really making use of the lower leg there, as we saw. You know, he was keeping it really pressed against Bozzy's waist, not letting him get that twist that he needed to get out of that.
Jesse Bozzy getting out, almost giving up an arm there, but there's going to be enough time on the clock to get out of it. Pat Mix looking for that takedown. Gets it. Ultimately controls this fight on the ground, puts Bozzy in a couple of situations that were a little bit threatening, but Bozzy saw through it, and now he's here as we go into round 2.
Yeah, Bozzy doing really well, staying calm, knowing exactly, what to do, how to get out of the situation. The best he can, against Mix is really just laying down the thunder as much as he can.
Absolutely. You see when it's on the feet, Bozzy has a pretty good advantage, but still, even then, he's going to have to get on the inside of Pat Mix. Not an easy thing to do, especially with the reach of Pat Mix. Trying to get past that is problematic at times for Mix's opponents. Here we go. Round 2. Bozzy looking to take advantage of the situation here on the feet. Hasn't really had an opportunity to showcase his stand-up as Pat Mix sustained it. Sort of like neutralized that situation in the last round, controlling it on the ground. Pat Mix looking to go back to the ground again.
Yeah, Mix is going to, he's just going to keep pushing for that. He knows that's where he's comfortable. That's where he's going to dominate the game. And if he can keep it there, assuming if this goes the distance, if he can keep it there, he's going to, he knows that that's going to get him the win.
Absolutely. Me and you were talking about this, how Pat Mix is trained with Juan Archuleta several times, but really wants to fight Archuleta. And, that's the thing about this game, man. You could start training with certain people. Maybe they don't go 110% or maybe they don't, but, it's crazy. You got to watch who you train with. But, to hear Pat Mix say that says a lot about his character, that he really wants to step up to the plate and he really wants a championship bout. And that's a fight I would really like to see, quite honestly.
Yeah, both of them have a very, very similar fighting styles. They're both very aggressive, very light on their feet, great on the ground. Definitely you see some similarities between their styles, and if you push us hard enough, I could definitely see that in the future happening.
Absolutely, but right now, having to get through the likes of Jesse Bozzy here in round 2, controlling things once again. But to Bozzy's credit, hasn't really given up anything, hasn't taken significant damage or anything like that. He's been really having to fight Patrick Mix off.
Mix really maintaining over these last 2 rounds, that lock over the stomach there.
Yeah.
Not giving Bozzy a chance to move. If Bozzy twists, if Bozzy turns to his back, that just, Pat's going right with him.
Going to work, Pat Mix delivering a combination of shots and elbows, keeping Jesse Bozzy guessing here, rightfully so.
Mix just not letting go here, just trying to pound as much as he can. Body shots, face shots, just switching off. Bozzy, he can only block so much. He can only be at so many places at once, especially in this compromised situation. Mix, as we can see, just twirling around with him. Bozzy, any position he's trying to change to, Mix is there.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a couple seconds ahead of Bozzy. Bozzy just left to guess. And Pat Mix is doing enough to where the ref isn't going to stand him up. So it is definitely working to his favor.
Yeah, just keeping it busy. Yeah, and on top of that, not just keeping it busy in a shot sense, but I mean, every punch he's packing, you could see it in his face. He's there's force behind it, there's meaning behind it. He's doing as much damage as he can. But Bozzy just, taking it like he's getting tapped.
More shots from the back. And Bozzy's just left to guess this entire fight. It's been very tough for Bozzy indeed. "53 seconds remains. And this has been nothing but sort of a ground clinic here.
Yeah, you know, Mick's really getting a chance to display what he could do on the ground and how much control he really can have over an opponent.
And once again, we're here at Seneca Niagara Resort Casino for another night of King of the Cage, brought to you in part by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world, and of course, General Tire. And the elbows just constantly coming from different angles. It's got to be so frustrating for Bozzy. And it looks like Mix is going to ride out and get another victory here in round 2. Got an exchange of words between the two.
A little bit of drama. You know, just showing Bozzy, you know, he's taking it very well. He's not looking very phased whatsoever. He's still very much in this fight and wants to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only the advantage he may have going into round 3 is how is Pat Mick's cardio? We don't know. We're going into round 3. Can Jesse Bozzy capitalize on that? Because it just seems like he's been working more, you know, in this whole fight between the two.
Yeah, if anything, Bozzy looking just a little more annoyed than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to carry that with him. It's going to motivate him to really try to solidify that win in the 3rd round here.
Try to get that choke in. Didn't quite work.
Mick's just slamming away at those rib shots.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Here we go. 3rd and final round. Can things change for Bozzy tonight? Can he reverse the tides here? It's been nothing but a storm for him, but getting that opportunity on the feet, I'm sure he's not going to let that go to waste. Outside leg kick for Bozzy, but that's only going to set up Mix to be able to go for the takedown once again. He really needs to get on the inside, start utilizing those hands, and start throwing some power shots.
Yeah, Mix looking really confident here. He's calling him out. You know, he's ready to go. Feel like, you know, Mix has a little bit of more lenience room here, depending on how the round goes. If it ends up going to decision, you know, he's basically dominated the last 2, so if he wants to mess around here, he can.
It looks like Pat Mix is going to shoot him for that takedown, and Bozzy's like, here we go again.
Are we going to get... Oh, okay. Bozzy defends well, breaks that fall.
And we've seen it in the past where dudes get slammed on the head the wrong way, and, man, the fight is over.
Oh, definitely.
And it happens. So that was a great break of the fall there, takedown attempt.
Yeah, it's very important. You know.
But ultimately not where he wanted to end up, but it could have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
So Bozzy will continue to fight Pat Mix off again as he goes from the knee to belly in the exchange. Bozzy getting an opportunity to get back on. And no, he's going to break that from happening.
Mix going for that back again.
Three minutes and 39 seconds remains. And man, what an exhausting fight. I mean, this has been exhausting to watch, not for the fact that I'm not saying it's boring in any way. It's just so much energy is being used. And look at Mix in the 3rd round, not even phased by it. He's like, I'm in just a workout.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times you'll see.
I feel exhausted, man, for these guys because they've been putting in so much time and work.
And just continuing the pressure. It has not dropped for a second. The action hasn't dropped. The stamina, you know, these guys are built well. They've been training hard. You know, they're going till the end.
And there's a reason why it hasn't been stood up. So if there's some fans at home watching going, why haven't they stood this up? Mix has been doing enough to keep it from being stood up. Now, some refs, I can imagine, would probably stand this up because they're known for doing that. But,
you know,
in this fight, no. You can see that Pat is staying busy, and you just feel for Bozzy, you know, because of the weight factor that happened. You know, he probably feels a bit robbed, and I would like to see a rematch. Both guys weighing the same, and that's not to take away from Pat Mix in any way. Pat Mix is a very skilled fighter, but I would like to see a level playing field on both sides.
It would be great. You know, it'd be a great opportunity. These guys obviously, you know, there's a lot that Bozzy can learn from this fight and easily adapt to for a rematch, and it could be a totally different fight.
And the last thing you want to see is Bozzy walk away, you know, a little upset about it, or if there's a question mark in his mind. I would like to see Bozzy get another opportunity at Pat Mix in the near future. But as for right now, it's just very overwhelming for him. Pat Mix is just, he's smothering him, man. That's exactly what he's doing this entire fight. Smothering him and not giving him any space, and very strategic in that matter.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, came out here with a plan, you know, and he's executing it. Bozzy's still doing a good job, twisting, pulling, turning, you know, and it's vital to just, you know, try to keep things loose, get as much space for yourself so you can get out of that bad situation. You know, when they're on the ground, you got all the jiu-jitsu going on, you got to shrimp out, you got to push out any way you can, twist, you know, drop your hips, whatever you could do. But Mix just really trying to keep it as tight as possible, making it really hard for Bozzy to do that. But credit to Bozzy, because he's lasted a very long time doing this. You know, most fighters, you know, there's a lot of fighters, you can't just say everyone can just go 3 rounds with a fighter like Pat Mix, especially when he's, you know, pounding hits on the ribs, pounding body shots, taking control of the back, taking control of all this ground game. You know, Bozzy's definitely showing some great resilience to all of it. Heavy elbows, we see some from Mix.
Yeah, Pat Mix just continuing to deliver from the back there. And Bozzy has just been in this position the entire fight, and it's been very frustrating.
You see him there, he's standing there in that block position even when Pat isn't hitting, because you know there's really nothing he can do. If he drops his guard, he's going to sink a hit somewhere. You know, all he really can do while he's locked around over the stomach like that is, you know, buck, twist, hope to get out.
Here we go, final seconds of this matchup. What a battle it has been. That is it. Take a look at the replay. He goes for the takedown, but Jesse does a good job, Bozzy, of breaking the fall a bit there.
And you see just, you know, as the round progresses, you see the same pattern of style that we see from Mix. Making his way over, sliding that knee over the stomach, taking the back and locking in those legs and not letting Bozzy go anywhere. Once he gets that lock in, you know, it seems like for the rest of the round, as we've seen for the last 2 rounds, he's doing the same thing. He's got a method. He knows it works. It's locking him in. He's not getting out. It's just a perfect way to score points.
Here we go. We throw it to the judges and Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Tim Corrado and Dave Bruce score it 30-24, while Paul O'Brien has it 30-26. All 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Patchy No Love Mix. I am with Patchy No Love Mix. He remains undefeated at 5-0. Your competition tonight got tougher. You fought a guy from one of the top camps in the Midwest in the Michigan top team, 7-2, and now he's 7-3 and you're 5-0. How do you assess your performance tonight?
I feel good. I would have liked to go for the finish. He was just kind of holding on from like the back position, so I didn't want to give up like position just to go for the finish.
Where do you go now at 5-0 with King of the Cage?
5-0, I'm stepping up to fight for the bantamweight belt in November in Salamanca. We're gonna sell that show out, 300 tickets, let's go. November 18th.
And who do you want to thank for your performance? I know a lot of people were involved with WMA to get your performance.
Well, right before I went to Jackson Wink about a month ago, I lost my grandfather, and he meant the world to me. He was like, you know, a second dad to me. So I just want to dedicate this to him. And, you know, it was hard to go through the camp while thinking about it, but this is for my Papa Mike, all right? All my sponsors, my team at Western New York MMA, Jackson Wink, Terry Treblock, King of the Cage, everybody, I thank you all. You know, without your support, we couldn't do it.
You know, Pat, I still agree that you're probably the best talent in the sport at this weight class, and I don't think there's anything left for you to do but fight for a title in your next fight. You ready to do it?
Yes, I'm ready. In November, Salamanca, let's do it.
November, world title fight, Pat Mix.
One sec, I got one more. Let's go, my coach Erik Herbert's next. Let's bring it home, let's go.
All right, there you have it. Patchy No Love Mix remains undefeated.
His name is Jay Jackson. He's a tough striker. He's had a lot of fights. He's durable. And so, yeah, I think he likes to put on a show on the feet, and so do I. So, yeah, he's a tough guy.
It seems like a really tough guy. I think he likes to play with the wrestling a little bit and a little bit of jiu-jitsu. That's what I pretty much know. And then he likes to play with the stand-up a little bit also.
Jay Jackson's a destroyer. I mean, when people see Jay Jackson fight, they know that there's going to be destruction within the bout. He came in on a last-minute replacement and fought former world champion, and when he caught him, it was lights out. It was a huge punch, and that's what people have come to expect out of Jay Jackson.
Yeah, fight camp's been great. Been working a lot of stand-up and working a lot of conditioning, so I feel in shape. I feel healthy and ready to go. No injuries, and everything's gone pretty smooth. Been training for a solid 8 weeks, and I'm just ready to perform.
Erik Herbert is a completely different example of a fighter. He's completely well-rounded, has excellent jiu-jitsu, decent wrestling, and is a very good striker. Look for him to be technical early, and look for him to try and take out Jay Jackson late.
Oh man, training camp was great. Trained with Fuse a couple days a week. Just made sure that my condition was at its peak, and trained a lot with my buddy Adam King, and we put in a lot of training hours together, and just kind of mixed it up, trying to have fun and keep it tough at the same time.
I want to come out and make a statement. I want to fight for the world championship after this fight. So I'm ready to go out there and perform. I'm not looking for a decision. I'm not looking for the judges to have to tally it up at the end. I'm looking to get a stoppage, and so pay attention because it's going to be a good one.
King of the Cage and the promoters always treat me great, so whenever they call, I'm always ready.
I think the future's bright. I want to win tonight. I'm going to win tonight, and then I want to fight for the world title.
Here is Jay Action Jackson.
And there he is, Jay Jackson, making his way to the cage, a veteran here at King of the Cage. Has several wins under his belt. Off to a great start, but has been fighting for us for quite some time. I believe in his amateur career as well, and now fighting as a pro tonight.
Yeah, he's a real strong stand-up fighter. You know, he comes out here. He's got plenty of fans. Fans like him. Fans like his fights. You know, you're always in for a show if he stays on the card.
Jay Jackson is one of the most respectful fighters I've met in my career. He's just very humble guy, down-to-earth guy. And it's usually those guys that are very dangerous.
Oh, definitely.
They know something you don't know. You know what I mean? And that's Jay Jackson. He really holds himself like that. And to me, that is like a hero of the sport. When you're just humble. You know, you're a superhero, but you stay humble about it.
Definitely.
And that's Jay Jackson for you. So Jay Jackson getting an opportunity back in the limelight here again at Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. This is King of the Cage Counter Strike, brought to you in part by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. And of course, want to thank the folks over at General Tire, Anywhere is Possible, for constantly supporting King of the Cage. We're just about set. We are ready to rock. Jay Jackson enters the cage once again. And we're just about set. We'll go ahead and throw it to Dean Stone.
Here is Erik, the Bull Herbert.
Erik the Bull Herbert set to take on Jay Jackson. Jay Jackson, also known for his heavy hands, well-rounded skills. I believe he trained out at Team MASH, and if he does, he probably still does to this day. Don't quote me on that. I try to have the best memory I can, but you know how that goes with age and everything. But Jay Jackson obviously going to have his hands full as well tonight. This is a great fight between the two when you look at it on paper.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Herbert's a tough fighter. Haven't seen too much from him, but from what I have seen, you know, he's a tough guy. He's got a good stand-up game. He's fairly well-rounded. You know, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be interesting.
And remember, you can always find us on the web. Log on to kingofthecage.com or all social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There's so many social media things out there. It's so hard to keep up.
Oh, yeah. An outlet for everything.
I'm glad I'm not the social media guy. Let's just say that. That's a lot of work. But, yeah, we are everywhere. You stay up to date, get your ticket purchases and more. Find us online. And we are just about set. Erik Herbert, the crowd favorite here tonight. Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino. We throw it to Dean Stone to get this matchup underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the sensational Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, Niagara Falls, New York, King of the Cage and General Tire present our featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the Seneca Nation of Indians Athletic Commission, Chairman Scott Snyder, Vice Chairman Justin Schapp. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder Terry Trebilcock Jr., Matchmaker Tom Vaughn, Promoter Jeff Mahalik, Timekeeper at the bell Nicole Corrado. The three judges scoring this match will be Dave Bruce, Tim Corrado, and Chris Bolinsky. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from Binghamton, New York, Steve Ward. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, Western New York, let's hear it. This is our main event of the evening. 3 rounds of MMA in the middleweight division. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 185.2 pounds. This Fuse MMA, Fighting Spirit Gym, and White Elephant Fight Club combatant has a combined 18 victories. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bay City, Michigan, presenting Jay Action Jackson. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner stands, also at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight, 185.8 pounds. This WNY MMA and fitness fighter has a professional record, 6 victories, 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of North Tonawanda, New York, Erik the Bull Herbert. Once again, your referee, Steve Ward, now with the final instructions, 3 rounds scheduled.
Okay, gentlemen, remember the rules in the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Back to your corners.
Here we go, round 1. Jay Jackson in the red tape gloves, or blue tape gloves, and of course Erik Herbert in the red tape gloves. Here we go. Jay Jackson with the heavy hands. Erik Herbert, a very fast individual on his feet, especially with his feet, with those kicks.
Yeah, both fights just testing the waters, you know. I have no real predictions for this fight. You know, it could really go either way.
It's so true. It really is a hard fight to call. Jay Jackson has those heavy hands that he's looking to wind up here, about to let him go. And once he lets him go, man, that's when all hell breaks loose with this guy. He is an incredible fighter. But Erik Herbert knows this, and that's why you can see the respect here.
Yeah.
Jay Jackson with a nice body shot. The anticipation in here comes with an overhand right. Herbert shakes it off, and a nice spinning back fist that ultimately sets him up in this position. What a great setup on that takedown.
Oh, definitely.
Usually it's just a punch when you're setting out a takedown attempt, but that'll definitely throw your opponent off.
Oh, yeah. It's always a plus when you can see if a fighter can throw, you know, one of the fancier strikes, for lack of a better term, and actually land them effectively.
And when they do land, man, it is fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, there are certain fighters out there that practice on those shots like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's really the best way, you know, the only way you're going to be able to land them, because a lot of them are very tricky. They look easy to land, but, you know, if you're not in the right place at the right time, you're going to make a fool out of yourself.
It really is like a three-pointer shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you don't make it, if you think you're going to make it, it's not even the point of the bell. You know, the bell's not about to ring. And you go for that three-pointer, everybody's going to look at you like, you wasted that time. But Erik, no problem. Handled it.
Yep.
Jay Jackson trying to fight Herbert off as he gets worked against the cage here on the ground.
Yeah, after about a minute or so of just testing the waters, you know, seeing how Jay fights, looks like Herbert's going to want to take it to the ground here. He's really fighting for that. He's not letting up on the hips. Feeling like he could do better down there. We'll see if he can get him down.
Nice takedown for Herbert. Jackson breaks the fall a bit, but now giving up his back.
Jackson in a dangerous position here.
Yeah, Jackson giving up his back. Not a good thing for Erik Herbert. You know, certain fighters can, you know, fight this thing off, but Erik Herbert is just one of those guys that will maintain position over you. And Jay Jackson just needs to get out of this little riddle. Things are starting to change up. Herbert working from the full guard, but that's not going to stop him from throwing elbows.
Nice ground and pound.
Jay Jackson trying to roll out. Terry Trebilcock, president and founder of King of the Cage, in the house tonight. Enjoying some fights there. Best seat in the house. So I always try and take him drinks just so I can go sit there for a second, you know.
Right. Nice wide shot of the ring.
Yeah, we're commentating in the closet over here in the back. Oh, and Jay Jackson taps out.
Before we see anything, just like that.
Man.
Hey, you know, you get your hands in at the right time. Even the best fighters, you know, go the barangay for them in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, much respect between the two, you know. So much respect, you could see it. But Jay Jackson, once it went to the ground, things were uncontrollable at that point. Erik Herbert came out of nowhere with that, really.
Oh, definitely. Looks like he was spending that whole majority of the beginning of the round, you know, really planning it out, trying to come up with, you know, some kind of plan he wanted to execute, and it seemed like he got it.
You thought it was just going to be a stand-up war, and he's like, nope, I got something else for you, Jay. And he takes him right to the ground and sets up that rear naked choke, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes and 8 seconds of the first round. Your winner by tap out from a rear naked choke, Erik the Bull Herbert. I am with the pride of North Tonawanda, New York, Erik the Bull Herbert. You look fantastic tonight. You took out a tough guy in the first round by rear naked choke. How do you assess your performance tonight?
Just first and foremost, I want to thank King of the Cage and the Seneca Casino for having me. I'd also like to thank my beautiful wife. And I'd also like to thank the North Tonawanda PBA Union, which is the best department and the greatest bunch of guys and girls a guy could ever work for. And I'm happy with my performance. Jackson's a tough dude. Best of luck to him. And vote Jim McGinnis for mayor of North Tonawanda.
Okay. I think people need to start voting for you in North Tonawanda. You would be a great mayor there. But putting that aside, where do you go now with King of the Cage? You're now 7-2 as a professional.
I want to fight for the world title. I want to fight for the world title here in Western New York, and I want to be the first professional world champion from Western New York.
Well, there you have it. High aspirations for a very tough fighter in Erik the Bull Herbert. Congratulations on your win tonight, and best of luck. We'll have you back here soon enough, I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Vegas Casino Resort, Sloan, Iowa, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the Women's Junior Flyweight Division. Your referee in charge of the action, Mike Beltran. Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 4 inches tall. Official weight, 124.4 pounds. She represents the Next Edge Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, presenting Caitlin Geeson. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. Official weight, 125 pounds. She represents Neutral Ground MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, presenting Hannah No Quit Singer. Once again, your referee in charge of this ladies' bout, Mike Beltran with the final instructions, 3-round schedule.
I know the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch yourself now if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out and have your business, ladies. Let's go.
And here we go, Geeson and Singer, round 1. Geeson in the blue gloves, Singer in the red gloves. And we are just about set for this matchup between these two. Mike Beltran, our ref for this matchup.
All right, ladies, first round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Come, let's go.
Here we go. Geeson looking very comfortable here in the stand-up department. Singer rushes forward. They clinch. And now Geeson with a nice takedown. Looking to go to work here on the ground very quickly as we change elevation. And they're about to be back on their feet again. And Singer will continue to work Geeson up against the cage with some nice clinching going on with those underhooks. And now reversing things would be Geeson. Both fighters stylistically here showing some equal amount of skill. But those things change very quickly when you start seeing the stand-up and then you see the ground game all compared to each other. And Geeson coming in with some heavy shots. And Singer ain't gonna back up. But Geeson just continues to come forward. And here we go. Nice knees. Singer looking to change things quickly. Taking a massive knee there to the head. And now working a guillotine choke is Geeson. Trying to get this to the ground. 1 minute, 33 seconds remains. Geeson looking to turn her hips around, but now getting caught up here, in danger of taking some knees, and now almost giving up her back is Singer, but reversing things right back to the cage. Geeson just continues to smother Singer. Both fighters continue to stay here, fighting for position here against the cage. And remember the schedule for three 3-minute rounds. It is in the amateur division. Now breaking free. Singer looking to let those hands free. Continues to move forward with a nice high kick. More shots delivered by Geeson, looking to finish things, and she drops. She has to have time, but not much time here left. Needs to go to work. Mike Beltran calling for her. That's it. Beltran's gonna call it. What a display of power by Geeson here tonight as she submits herself, her opponent, into a victory here. Right here, you can see the nice tie clinch between the two. She takes it to the ground, changes elevation just for a second, and then they get back on the feet. And then the nice exchange between the two of these fighters. But Geeson was just smothering her and constantly giving her no room to move around, rightfully so. Eventually, when she got it to the ground, she was able to just get on top and finish some nice, strong ground and pound. We throw it to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Mike Beltran, has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 1. The winner by TKO, Caitlin Geeson.
Ready, coach?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel, Whirling, Idaho, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the bantamweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Tom Subnet. Introducing first, Niagara Soil blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, official weight 144.4 pounds. He represents Spokane Valley Martial Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Spokane Valley, Washington, presenting Lady Bam Bam Heaston. Here's his opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 10 inches tall, official weight 145 pounds. He represents AKA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Green Bluff, Washington, presenting Jesse the Grave Digger Simpson.
And here we go, Heaston versus Simpson. Simpson in the red gloves. And Heaston in the red gloves. Here we go. Oh man, nice shots displayed by Simpson, and we've seen this in the past. He's a very explosive fighter, very quick. Leaving those hands a bit low, Heaston able to pop off a couple of shots there. Now they will clinch up. Simpson continues to work his way out of this. Simpson trying to take this to the ground. You can look for that outside leg trip he tried for. Simpson was able to deflect it. And now breaking free, Simpson's able to, now they're free once again. Here we go. Gonna let those hands fly, or both of these fighters. Heatson's starting to loosen up here as well. Simpson coming in with some heavy shots, but Heaston just there with the counter striking ability. Takes a shot in return, takes a high kick, blocks it. Nice kick by Heaston. A brawl between these two, just straight standing in the pocket here. Heaston looking to let those hands go once again, as well as Simpson. Simpson's able to launch off a couple of shots. Heaston just very accurate. Very comfortable when he does it. His kicks to the dome are like effortless to him. Simpson, I'm not sure if that was an injury before he got in here. I can't really remember, but man, it doesn't surprise me the way these fighters are fighting right now. Really pushing it right now. 1 minute, 13 seconds remains. So far, it's been a stand-up war between Simpson and Heaston. Heaston with a high kick. Now Simpson mixing it up with some combinations of his own. Heaston comes back with some combos. Look at this. A war of combos between these two. Gotta love that. This round has gone by so fast. hard to believe it could go this long. 2.5 minutes with these guys striking the way they are, and nobody's knocked out yet. And as I say that, Simpson gets a little bit rocked. Heatson coming in for the finish. Simpson in a little bit of trouble, now gets taken to the ground. Heatson looking to finish this fight quickly on the ground, and he's got 27 seconds to do so as he continues to pummel Simpson, and that is it. Tom Supnet steps in. Heatson victorious once again. Let's take a look at the replay. Both fighters, tremendous amount of heart being displayed in the cage between these two. Simpson throwing so many combinations, but Heatson was just there to counter strike, took a couple of shots. And any other fighter on probably any other day probably would have got knocked out by Simpson, but not today. Heatson came in and did the job and finished it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Tom Supnet has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 2 minutes and 36 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by TKO, Rowdy Ladies and gentlemen, from the Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel, Worley, Idaho, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the flyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action, Tom Supnet. Introducing first in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 135.2 pounds. He represents Spokane Valley Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Ladies and gentlemen, from parts unknown, presenting John Metal Nakarado. Here's the opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall as well. Official weight 136.2 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, presenting Seth Freeman.
And here we go, Nakarado and Freeman. Nakarado in the blue gloves, Freeman in the red gloves. Freeman immediately comes in with those hands, letting them go, slinging some heavy leather here. And both fighters will clinch up. Nakarado trying to close the distance here and keeping it closed as he works Freeman up against the cage, trying to sustain that situation very quickly. Nakarado continues to utilize his working Freeman up against the cage here. Sure, he's looking to change elevation real quick. Freeman was really starting to let those hands fly. Nakarado's like, you know what? Maybe not take a chance here tonight. Nakarado continues to clinch. Now looking for the takedown. Freeman defending this takedown thus far. And Nakarado getting it to where he wants to go. Nakarado looking to go to work here on the ground. Putting up a high guard here. Freeman trying to work it, but not going to happen. Nakarado blocking that with the right arm. Hasn't really been able to posture up and land any shots. He's almost there. Freeman's been doing a good job of sustaining the situation. Now Nakarado's going to be able to tee off here just a bit. And Freeman's able to hold on just for a couple moments longer. Nakarado with a nice left. Freeman's still trying to get out of this. A little bit of a puzzle. Nakarado finding some space. Tom Supnet, our ref for this matchup, a Navy veteran. We salute you for your services, sir, and the services in and out of the cage. And one of the best refs in the business. So a big shout out to Tom Supnet, who is a veteran here at King of the Cage as a ref as well. Veteran in the armed forces and a veteran here in the world of mixed martial arts. Freeman taking some more shots from the top. And trying to break free, Nakarado says, no, I've worked too hard to get it here. You're not going to get up. As he works from the side control. And now delivering a couple knees in the midst of it all. 22 seconds remains. Nakarado controlling the majority of round one, and now getting to the full mount position, starting to land some nasty shots. He's got 10 seconds to go to work. Can he finish Freeman? Will he finish Freeman? Supnet giving him every single chance. The question is, will Freeman answer for the next bell? We'll find out. Let's take a quick look at the replay, though. A very impressive round one, ending that round on a strong note. An exclamation mark, I should say, but man, a lot of ground and pound action towards the end of that round. And he basically controlled the entire round. I'd have to give that round to Nakarado as we now head off into round two. Tom Supnet, our rep for this matchup. And here we go. Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Both fighters starting out on the feet. I believe Nakarado is probably going to want to take this to the ground, as he does, as we speak, and takes Freeman right back to the ground. So now he'll have a little more time to get to work. We saw in the last round that he was putting in some work, but there was only 10 seconds left. And like I said, if there was another 20 or 30 seconds left, Freeman could have lost that fight. But this is MMA. Things change. Advantages change. Nakarado just going right back to work. You can tell he's got a very superior ground game over Freeman. Freeman in a little bit of trouble. He's a little bit exhausted from the last round, taking a lot of shots. And remember, this is in the amateur division, so things are looked upon a little more with concern with the amateur division. They make sure that you don't take too many shots as much as a pro can take. I mean, it's just the level of competition has changed just a little bit. Gloves are the same though. The hits are the same. But, a couple more of these shots would qualify it to be stopped as well. So he's got to take that into consideration. And that's it. The rear naked choke comes out victorious. Let's take a look at the replay. Starts out on the feet once again. Takes it to the ground where he was most comfortable and where he was dominating the fight. Right here sets up that rear naked choke, and bam, 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 that's it. We throw it to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 22 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by tap out via